This is a Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. This is a mailbag.
All right, let's get straight into it then. We've got a couple of voice messages today. Should we start with the voice
Start
message?
with the voice message off the top.
Well, that's the if you send in a voice
You
message,
lead that you open the batting.
you're absolutely going to get in and
Yeah.
you'll open the batting.
Yep.
So we've got a couple. So the first one is from Scarpsy.
Boys, love the pod. It's tough being a Fremantle supporter who lives in Melbourne. Anyway, Michael Frederick, wanted to get your thoughts. I mean, he has all the attributes to just be such an important piece for us, but he just continues to be super inconsistent. I mean, what do you boys think? Is his spot in jeopardy? It's never as good, never as bad, boys. Scarpsy.
Thanks, Garth.
Thank you, Scarpsy. What a way to kick us off. I've thought about Michael Frederick in this way for a while. When he's on, he looks fantastic, but he disappears from games. You can have
Can you
games.
remember anything he did on the weekend?
Well, I know he
you
missed
need
it.
to go
He
back.
missed a set
Why did he
shot.
miss that?
When he was lining up, I haven't said this in a call yet, but I've been waiting. I reckon he's one of the safer set shots in the league. He never misses. I'd love to see the numbers. And then yesterday he missed that one that was at a crucial time, which would have been really, really important for them. But Scarpsy's right. There's games where he looks fantastic, and then there's 2 quarters where you don't see Michael Frederick.
That's that entire half-forward line.
Yeah, that's the role,
is.
isn't it?
That is the entire... No,
Fremantle.
Side. Frederick, Swikowski,
Yep.
Bamfield, Sturt. They're all... They're
Is
all
it
in
the
that
ground
category.
ball for him? Because I feel like
just they've never
I
seen.
feel like the best Michael Frederick is when he's got the footy and he's running. Obviously,
Yeah, but you'd
he's a
love to
very
see him
quick player.
have 20 touches every now and
I
then.
just feel like on the ground level he doesn't do enough.
He doesn't take contested marks.
No, but he's fast and they need speed.
No, but there's no point having
there's-
speed if you go to athletics if it's all
So
about
is
speed.
he better than Petrocelli at West Coast?
No, but I think
I reckon if Petrocelli played at Fremantle, it'd be similar.
your point
Similar
there
role?
about all the other players, I was like, who's knocking him out? They're all much of a muchness, but he's got a weapon.
He
which
has
is
a
his
weapon.
speed, and they're all it's much of a muchness whoever you put
Yeah.
there.
As we've
for
seen-
Fremantle, which is not a good thing.
If you have one weapon, you can stay in the AFL for
Yeah.
a really long time. He'll probably play 150 to 200 games, Michael Frederick, just
Yeah.
based on that pace alone, until the pace leaves him.
Well, that was my point with Erasmus yesterday really quickly was they asked me in the call why is Erasmus in and out? Is he going to make it? And I was like, because he's pretty good at most things. He's not great at anything. There's no weapon. There's just not a weapon.
He's a step slow with his decision making. I think.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
but you can get by with that.
Yeah.
But you need something that stands out.
Voice message number 2. This one is from a long-time listener of the pod and nemesis of Xavier Ellis, Pastor Mark.
Oh shit!
Well, Pastor Mark here. Perplexing result. Why on earth would you put our best forward in the ruck at a moment when we needed a goal just to make the game ours? If we are 0-6 by round 6, then you really have to ask questions. This is the best list we've had probably ever, and this is meant to be our year, and so something is seriously wrong.
Well, firstly, God bless. We have locked horns a few times in the past.
You have?
The one that got me yesterday, not so much was Andy Brayshaw played a lot of half forward.
Yeah.
A lot.
He did. Did you hear, was it Simo this morning I was listening to? I was talking about Simo yesterday. He was talking about how that when Bolton was in the middle, they basically, Brayshaw played half forward, and as soon as the centre bounce was done, Bolton streamed forward and Brayshaw went back to being a midfielder.
Well, it didn't happen the whole time. I watched it so closely.
Well,
And
I was just following what Simo said.
Brayshaw, we were saying in the call, your centre half forward as we speak is Andy Brayshaw.
Yeah.
In live play. He was centre half
So the
forward.
pastor was talking about Tracy rucking. And I thought that was weird too, because Voss was the backup ruck all day, and then
they
suddenly
threw him in.
Josh Tracy was rucking.
Yeah.
It was a strange thing.
It was.
I don't know if it was because
Well,
Voss was off the ground at
Well, I
the same
listened to
time.
I don't think they were happy. I listened to Longmuir's press conference, and he talked about the second ruck. And he's like, we got to figure it out.
Yeah,
Like,
because he said there was forwards rucking against
Ruckman.
genuine ruck. So Laddams is their backup ruck, but he's a ruck.
I didn't think that was a good move by Coxie to play. Their forward line, Sydney, was McLean, Laddams, Amadi,
Yeah,
Hayward, who's an in-betweener.
medium. Yeah,
I was like, if ball hits the ground here, game over. But they subbed Grundy off, which was a surprise.
yeah.
And then Laddams, I thought Laddams was all right.
Yeah.
I thought Laddams was all right.
Well-
So like that was a tick to Coxie.
Absolutely, and he was playing, as he said, he was playing against
Yeah.
Voss, who's not a ruckman.
Nah.
So normally the second ruck is a forward
second
ruck.
off, yeah.
But he had
actually
two.
a ruckman.
He had two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, 0-6. If they are 0-6,
Well, they can't be. They've got Richmond. And,
Well, the wheels have
they
definitely
got Richmond
fallen
and
off.
West Coast.
Yeah, but this is, they cannot. I wrote about this in the paper on the weekend. I'm done with the flag mantle stuff. I'm done with believing in Fremantle. You now have to show me I'm done. I'm out of the tent.
That's
No
how
I'm out of the tent.
You'll ask Joshy to edit this out. You're doing this as a flex to me, and then you're going to go,
No.
can you just
And
cut this
look,
out?
I'm not saying they're going to be terrible. I still think they're going to be a good side. I think they can turn it around. But I'm done with it's coming. Here they come. It's coming.
I think the problem is they don't-
just show me now. Just show me. I need evidence.
I also think
I compared him to
times
Bigfoot.
can be overcomplicated. Sarong's getting tagged by Jordan.
Yeah.
There's no Hayden Young.
No.
So who's the other banana that just needs to
Brayshaw.
be in there
Brayshaw
non-stop?
has to win it.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Instead, the week before, O'Driscoll did 24 centre bounces.
Well, O'Driscoll and O'Meara were very good.
O'Driscoll did 24 centre bounces first week.
Yeah.
Did 0 yesterday.
But he was excellent.
Yeah, no, excellent. But, how does your role go from that to that whilst Brayshaw's playing? Brayshaw did 13 centre bounces
Yeah.
or something.
Look, Fremantle,
Anyway.
here's the thing, right? And let's not spend too much time for it because I think we've got a few more questions. Actually, let's just
Move on.
maybe the questions will answer it for us.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor. Very good. Clearly, you got us talking. Will, who should be more embarrassed this week? Melbourne, Geelong, or Freo? Also, Goody is a flog.
Oh, hang on.
Throwing Max's personal issues out there.
Oh, hang
Why
on.
not just say he had an off day and be done with it?
Yeah,
There is no need to bring personal issues into it. We did discuss
Maybe,
that on Monday's pod.
maybe Max grabbed Goody and said, "Do not dare say I had a shit game.
Yeah.
You throw me under the bus. You
Mate,
never
something
never
else.
question my form."
So who had the worst game? Was it Melbourne,
Melbourne.
Geelong, or Freo? It's Melbourne.
I think it's
Melbourne.
Geelong
He's Geelong.
After the first week, turning up and putting that up.
against St Kilda.
Yeah, I agree. Mitch Thomas, 87. Why does God hate Fremantle?
Well, that's actually a question for Pastor
No,
Mark.
Pastor, we need you to come back.
That's more of a statement.
Yeah.
Kev, who is worse, the Bombers or Freo? Clearly the Bombers.
Bombers.
Bombers are a lost cause.
The Bombers don't have any expectations.
Mark, another Freo one. We've got an avalanche of Freo at the start here. When does Freo say shut up pre-season? This
just
list
stop
should
talking.
challenge every week. Keep your mouth shut pre-season until we deliver on that. JL is not the man to lead us forward. Can we give Simo a shot for balance of season? Great, you all want to stay here and live with your besties, having nice pool parties for Insta all summer, but man up and earn it. Mark is filthy.
Mark's filthy.
He
There
is
was a few
filthy.
emotions.
I
going around
actually do
yesterday.
feel as though there's a few more players we could give more long-term contracts to be
You think
honest.
so? Yeah.
It's funny though, as I mentioned yesterday with the Simo stuff. It's funny how quickly you can change the narrative. Because while he was at West Coast, it was like, gotta go, it's done. He's lost this fast ball.
Simo's a good coach.
He's lost the players, and now straight out of the gate, you're like, we need Simo.
Simo turned up 2014. We were really competitive. Lost a handful of close games.
Yeah.
15 playing a grand final, and then 118. Probably could have done something else in there as well. Like he's a good coach.
Alex, g'day, gents. Very frustrated Freo fan.
Oh, Jesus.
Are we a top 4 list with a bottom 4 coach? The game plan is trash. I think we need to change and
How
go
many
after
A's?
the other JL, Longmire. Also, what has happened to Amos? He's a shell of himself and doesn't scream potential star forward anymore. It's very sad. Thoughts, lads? I don't think Longmuir is a bottom 4 coach. I think that's unfair. I think there's parts of that list which you went through yesterday which are letting them down. It's their bottom 6 or 7. Really poor mistakes. The game plan yesterday held up pretty well. It was the execution.
But they don't make it easy on themselves. They never score.
Amos
No.
hasn't taken the leap, and I reckon partially that's him, but it's also Tracy's now. He's the alpha male.
Well, and there's
Yeah.
the entries. You've got to be a very good forward to be able to clunk it and kick
Yeah,
goals. For Fremantle.
absolutely.
No, but you
but
also
Anthony-
got to make it a bit easier on yourself.
Yeah, they
Get
don't
up the ground.
move. You notice that?
I think Amos's highest disposal is 13 in a game.
Amos needs
stop,
to-
Yeah, he
stop
needs to
heading
get
back
more
to
involved.
goals and
Yeah.
head up the ground.
I reckon Amos is a 40-goal forward in his best version of himself now, and Tracy's your 50-60.
But you guys would have thought.
But if you're getting
60.
100,
Yeah,
you would have thought 62.
Well, he
2
kicked
years
40
ago.
in his first.
2 years ago. But that's changed.
Yeah.
Tracy, 2 years ago, we wouldn't have thought this. They flipped. Don't you reckon?
I've been a Tracy man for a while.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I might have taken Tracy before I missed it about 2 years ago.
Mickey 91, do you believe the selection integrity exists at Freo?
Mate,
Freddie
these
and
Freo
Amos
guys
get
off
a
the
free
hand.
pass weekly. Jeez, the
Yeah.
Dockers fans are
All
filthy.
right, let's just keep roll through.
It's 1 3-point loss. Mitchell Barn, will Tim Kelly beat the Eagles next year? Well, he was much better yesterday.
He was much,
Yeah.
much better, but I don't know if they're...
He's not out of contract, is he?
He is
Or
out of contract.
He is, and I'm not sure this, but they're not falling out of trees to
No,
sign
no,
him.
no.
I think if he just plays like he plays, he'll play at West Coast. He'll get a deal there done.
They just need people in the middle too, like warm bodies.
I would be interested. I'm not 100% sure he's at West Coast next year.
Yeah, okay, where do you...
Geelong.
I
I
always
think
thought,
depending on what
he was-
happens with Fremantle, like
Yeah.
if they miss on Pickett, if they miss on Warner, if,
Oh, you're thinking across town.
well, it's not impossible
Okay.
because they're going to lose. You know, you'd assume
the
that
fir-
Fifey and Walters are probably going to move on next year. You would think.
Gee, funny seeing Sonny yesterday. Bit of traffic build up trying to get to the ground,
Yeah.
and Sonny was a couple of cars behind. Had to jump out of the car on the freeway, on the main road, jump
Really?
over a fence. He was doing Bolton's jumping presentation.
Well, so the bone bruising's okay then?
Yeah,
He's
no,
jumping
yeah,
fences.
He was moving all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good sign. Okay, please don't let this be another Freo question. It's not. Mitchell Grimes, boys, I'm going to have an aneurysm if I keep seeing the captain fantastic Paddy Cripps, who can do no wrong, let down by everybody again headlines. AFL propaganda would have you believe he's out there playing with Auskick kids and taking instructions from Nick Rynne, although I agree Voss is a spud. Surely some responsibility falls on him as captain, inability to stop teams when they get a run on, and maybe Carlton just aren't as good as we think they are, big bad Paddy Cripps included. I can't think of one game where he's gone up against another top 6 side in a crucial clash, dominated and got Carlton the chocolates. His heroics last season involved beating the worst West Coast side of all time and failing to get the job done against St Kilda on the last day of the season. Everybody's pissed today.
I love that. I
Everybody's
do
angry
love everyone's pissed off.
Pissed.
Cripper's. Look, I still don't think Cripper is the top 5 midfielder of the comp. I still have the Warners in front.
Where does he sit in ruckman?
Well, Cripper rucked. Yeah, Cripper's a superstar, and he polled 40 Brownlow votes last
45.
year, so he's done pretty well in, I'm sure, not just bottom games. But Carlton the Pox.
Yeah.
If Carlton supporters, you'd be pulling your hair out.
Let me ask you this.
$1 million. What do they call it? $1 million Boulevard at Carlton.
Carlton, yeah.
Was there 5 on a mil?
There would be, yeah.
And then DeConing's
Can I ask you this?
quick.
You got a big game. You need someone to win you the game. Last clearance. Do you want Cripps or Bontempelli?
Bontempelli.
Well, Bont. But if there's a lot, but I wouldn't.
I'd take Bont over pretty much everyone.
I wouldn't take Bont. I wouldn't say Bont and Cripps are in the same conversation.
You wouldn't? You'd have
No.
Cripper above Bont?
No, I'd have Bont
Well above.
Cripper. Yeah,
For career.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. In terms of who would I want? Yeah,
Yeah,
Bont.
that's the
Bont.
question. Because
Yeah.
we always put him
We
in
said
the...
one last clearance.
Well,
I
we,
was like,
we always put him in the Fife, Dusty, danger
So I
conversation,
don't-
Cripper, but he's not in that.
I don't put Cripper with
No.
with prime time.
I think we
danger
decided
and
he's a
Fife.
lower-
Yeah,
a level below.
low.
Yeah,
low,
he's a level.
low wrong.
As a proud major sponsor of the Fremantle Football Club, Woodside has accepted the challenge of supporting local footy at all levels, from grassroots to greatness, so it can thrive throughout WA. Woodside, Australia's leading energy company.
Michael, can we please get someone to claim Joel Frazier as their boy? I'm pretty sure I did that.
I think you've done that.
What a gun. We need more Frazier talk. Maybe Nick can claim him. He's gone past Rayner already.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Rayner's
I
just
claimed
having a
Frazier.
Claim him. Yeah.
I've got Riley Bice and Frazier. Did we talk about Sydney?
No.
Who had Sydney?
We talked about Sydney.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Because we talked about...
Oh no, I had Sydney. Chad
Yeah,
Warner.
yeah.
Chad
Oh,
Warner.
we
Chad
missed the
Warner.
Riley Bice chat.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, we
good.
talked about Riley Bice.
Yeah, we
Did
slipped
we?
him in. Not on.
I think
Sydney.
you were close enough with Frazier.
Yeah, no,
because then we debate how to
I've got
say his
him.
name.
I've got him. Yeah, Frazier.
You claim it. Cam, don't worry about Cam Rayner. He's just having a little nap.
Yeah.
Dr. Football, with umpires averaging about 50-cent callbacks these days, can we finally pull the plug on the centre bounce?
Oh,
At
yeah.
this point, anyone who thinks it's romantic has been taking too many tips from the young kid in adolescence. I haven't watched that show yet. Enough
have.
is enough.
I have.
That's
So,
hectic.
do you get the reference?
Yeah, I do, but I only watch every second episode because I fall asleep every night, and then so every single
There's only
show.
4 episodes.
Yeah, I know. So I saw 2. I saw the first and the third. Every single show I watch, I just get every second episode. On the couch, I sleep, and I'm done.
All right, what do you reckon? Get rid of the bounce?
Nah, leave it. Why not?
I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
callbacks. I
They
hate
are,
them.
they are missing a lot of them
Callbacks
recently.
are killers.
Hi, gents. Not footy related, but with Big Pepsi's health kick paying dividends, I just wanted to ask the pod what your top health tips are. Is it all as simple as eating more greens, or in Nick's case, smoking them? But sleep's a big one for me. I reckon
Sleep,
if you
yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah, you need
I'm
sleep.
not talking 8 hours. I reckon if you can get 9 to 10 hours a night,
What time are you going to
9
bed?
to 10
you've got to go to bed at
hours.
like 9 o'clock.
What time? Do you go to bed at 9 o'clock?
Sometimes.
And get up when?
That's my goal. I don't always.
Oh,
I get up
okay.
usually around, depending on the day, 6 or 7, depending on the day.
I just got a just a side chat. I just got a voicemail from the hospital saying it's time I can come pick up M. I have zero intentions of picking up M today. Like that was not on my to-do list.
Get the colonoscopy.
Yeah, I'm not picking you up.
Make sure
Haven't discussed this ahead of time.
Bring a towel if you do.
No, but what's she talking
Just to
about?
lay down.
Pick her up. The
Is that-
hospital. She mustn't be allowed to go home by herself.
Yeah, no, not after.
Oh, I know where
because
you're
they've had
going.
a couple of
I know
twilights.
where you're going
I've
after
got
this.
1,000 things I need to do. I can't go get her.
You got a
Send her
tea-
an
He's got
Uber.
a tea time. Is that what's happening?
No. I just got a bits and pieces.
Send an Uber.
All right.
No, you're not allowed to Uber.
What's your health tip?
The sleep one is good, but
Because you're a picture of health that we should all be.
Pilates.
Pilates.
mate.
Oh, yeah,
Pilates
great.
fixed my back.
You got one?
I wear the Garmin watch so to get
Yeah.
your sleep score.
Yep.
I had a sleep the other day. I went to bed at 7 a.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Sorry, and I got up at I don't know, work, whatever,
4 a.m.
4 a.m. And I reached 100.
Whoa.
100 out of the 100.
Wow.
And I usually dangle in, what was my sleep score last night was 76, and that's good for me.
Wow.
I felt so good off 100, so I'm sleep. Give me sleep.
David, is it reasonable to think Eagles can play better footy and be a better team than we were last year, but finish with less wins, 3 to 4 if we are lucky? Doesn't look like the floor is falling out of St Kilda or Demons quick enough to join us. We talked about this. They might not win more games. They might still win 4 or 5, maybe 6 games, but there can be improvements in effort and energy and development.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't need to see.
Love the pods.
I don't need to see the old guys play well.
No. And
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see too many of them play that well.
No,
anyway.
but I
There's not that many
mean,
there.
there's little ticks here and there that you go, well, that's okay.
Dude's dad, 29. How good with the Roos? Locked them in the top 8. Yes, we gave them quite a bit of love yesterday.
Yeah, you look at you guys want to come over to my tent. Oh, the Freo boys. Ryan spat the dummy.
I'm not I just need to see it. Hayden's 93, no question, but just want to admire Northball. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
a Kangas tragic, so bloody good. I'm all for anything when they call it something ball.
Yeah.
Northball, Hockball.
Yeah.
What was
Bice
the first
ball.
one?
What do they call it? Bice ball at some stage
What,
yesterday? Did I
Ronnie
hear
Bice?
that? Bice ball.
Bice ball.
Yeah.
Gee, he was nice. That
Far out.
so Mick was listening to our call.
Mickey B.
Werribee boy.
Mick Barlow, sorry, who coached Werribee.
Yeah.
That's where he cut his teeth. And he was like, another Werribee product, like, send
Yeah.
it to me.
There's like 6 of them.
And I was like, oh, mate, so tell us about it. He goes, look, he's not a contested animal. He's never going to be that.
No.
But by foot,
Beautiful.
but I saw enough in 5 minutes.
There was that one that he was off and he sort of darted in the middle
And hit
and
Warner.
hit that and hit him up.
Yeah.
And then the finish for goal
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
run.
yeah.
Phew. He's 25, 24, 25.
Yeah.
How
He's
many
been
are
on
in
it.
there now from that?
I think it's 5 or 6.
Jesus.
Henderson, Aiden Johnson,
The
Bice.
West Coast
Bice.
Melbourne guy.
That's Henderson.
Oh, so that's Henderson, sorry.
Yeah, Closey. And there's one more I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Mr. Chatafa, should Carlton approach Simo as their next coach? Well, we talked about Simo.
Yeah.
He's on the,
He's
he's in the
around.
market.
He is a free agent. Mitch Joyce, 11. Horn Francis is now the worst pick of the top 5 2021 draft class. That's a question. Nick, can you bring it up,
Let me
please?
bring up the
Just Dawn Francis.
This is that. I think this is that draft. It's unbelievable.
Yes, please.
Dacos.
Dacos.
Okay.
Darcy's in there.
21
Oh, shit.
AFL
Yeah.
draft.
There's a couple other good ones. Nick, bring it up quicker.
Jason Horn-Francis at 1 to North Melbourne. Sam Darcy at 2 to Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
Finn Callahan at 3 to GWS. Nick Dacos to Collingwood. Then Mac Andrew.
Well, okay. So he's got Matt covered at the moment.
Well,
even though you
well,
think
well,
that's
well,
going to be
at
the
the
best
moment, at
player
the
in the
moment.
AFL.
Give it the year.
That's
At
but
the
that's not
moment.
that is approaching best top 5 ever territory. And I know we had the Judd Hodge Luke Ball, but there was
Yeah.
Graham Pollak. You're saying what?
I saw
throwing
Graham
shade on Graham Pollak.
No, Graham Pollak would have been a superb player. I saw him the other day at Lakeside Basketball Stadium where I scored 50 points in that game. Lockie McLean would love to know what Zave thought of young Eagles, Dewar, Hall, Hewitt and Marrick.
Hall, 7 clearances and wasn't going to play,
Gave
so
him a
it's
big
huge
tick.
effort. But
Yep.
sometimes you don't have to worry about stressing about your performance when you don't know you're playing.
Yep.
Dewar, spectacular.
Yep.
Died in the arse. I don't think he touched it in the last quarter. I think he had -3 data points. So heart rate. I mean, obviously,
Yeah. The kid.
14 disposals and 2 goals. Massive tick. What a bloody good effort that was.
Yep.
And Marrick had 20 odd off half back. Uses it nicely.
Yeah.
Still not convinced is the answer, but big tick
him a
regardless. Yeah.
Black Licorice Poker. How will Damo spin the Kanga win into being a bad thing?
He's very negative on his own team, old Damo.
Yeah, I think it's years of
Yeah, he's getting pounded.
devastation. Just he never quite believed. Pete Dimnicki, why is the not 15 metre being so harshly umpired, and where has the descent rule gone?
Yeah.
This has been my bugbear of the start of the season. How many times have we seen a kick go from one player to the other and be not 15? Then they kick it back and it's a mark to the exact same spot.
Well, what about yesterday?
There was a 25-metre kick yesterday called not 15.
Yeah, the last minute of the
Yeah.
game when it put Sydney under the pump.
There was
and
a
then
couple.
The one at the end of the game, they had that. There's a free kick, 40 seconds to go in the Freo game. Then they went backwards and it was called play on.
Yeah.
And he had to run, and then he kicked it to Heaney,
Yes,
who fell over,
that's right,
and then
yeah.
the ball came launching straight back in.
Came back.
If that was Dean Cox, would have grabbed the measuring tape and
Yep.
marched the AFL out there. If that
I
had
reckon
been
I've
on the
seen
other way.
20.
I don't mind the 15-metre rule being sharp.
Same.
But they got to make it sharp and
consistent.
not just
There
all
were,
over the
I
place.
promise you, last week there was in Gold Coast, West Coast, there were 4 kicks in a row that were paid either 15 or not 15 that were
Right,
the
and then went
exact
back.
same place. It made no sense whatsoever. And I get the rule, let's get the game moving.
But
None of these
hard
short
rule to
kicks.
judge.
Well, just be consistent. Look, and if it's 20 metres, it's 20 metres.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This is from Goosey13. Which genius at the AFL gave Essendon 8 Thursday or Friday night games in the first 15?
you
Is that
can't.
right?
Is that real?
Can't be.
That is a disgrace.
Oh, no.
That's a disgrace. Saxon Souness, what would your goal songs be and are any better than Tom Powell's? What was Tom Powell's?
Don't know.
I didn't hear that one.
Don't know. I'm in the
What would
middle of
you
it.
be?
I'm in the middle of a colonoscopy here.
You're really stressing now.
Well, I just don't know what I was meant to do.
What would your
Mine
song
would be "To Be With You" by Mr. Big.
He had thick of it, KSI.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad. How did you find that so quickly?
I just Googled
What?
Tom Powell goals.
Why you?
Sog,
Why'd you laugh
apparently.
at mine?
Well,
what was
To Be
yours?
With You by
Yeah.
Mr. Big.
Yeah.
It's a little bit slow, isn't it?
It
might get the crowd singing.
Yeah, that'll get the crowd up and
That
about.
might be not bad.
That would be
I'd
good.
go like Sabotage by the Beastie Boys or something.
What's the story with Hawthorn and their run-out song at the moment?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Fiend or something?
Yeah. It's not bad.
So we're outside the demo, clearly.
Clearly.
That's a thing. I don't know what the thing is,
Clearly.
though. Can someone slide into my DMs and tell me what the thing is? I
What
think
it
it's
is.
cool. I don't know.
Travis Scott. I looked it up the other day.
Oh,
it's a Travis Scott song.
Travis Scott.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it's cool.
Joshy Boy 261. What's missing from the D's? Is it just
It's
forwards?
cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Keep that in your bag. What's missing from the D's? Is it just forwards?
There's lots.
It's lots. It's a lot of things. That they're in big transition. Max Dexter Smith. Screw the Norton to fullback conversation. Norton to ruck. Did some nice things in the third quarter.
Geez, they went hard after Norton this morning.
Yeah, I
How
found
they
that
had
on the night.
four touches or something, 4 kicks. Yeah, they had never been in the Australian squad. Not sure he's been in the top handful, best and fairest. Norton's about to cop a mistreatment with
Yeah.
Sam Darcy.
Sam Darcy's the 1A now.
Yeah, already gone past.
Is he the number one player in the competition? If every player was in Tassie, if you're building Tassie,
I think so, yeah.
is he the first player pulled out of the hat?
Other than Mac Andrew, of course.
Other than that,
After Mac. Imagine
Daddy's,
both of them.
Mac
Whoa.
Daddy's loyal to the Gold Coast, so that's a waste of time. Not Sam
He's got a-
Darcy after
he's
his
got
dad being a
400
legend.
year
Yeah.
contract.
I think
Gold
that's
Coast.
fair. Yep.
I think so. I've never seen anyone like him.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't think anyone has, have they?
Hang on. What?
Here we go.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? You've never seen anyone like him?
Well, like someone of that size who moves that well and can grab it.
You
at that
haven't,
high
you haven't
point.
had your eyes over Rory Lobb?
Yeah, it's not quite in the same. Quite in the same
Timo
Gee,
category.
that's been a good move, though, by the way.
Roy Lobb has been
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
I like the blue hair. Clan Smith, is there a world where Cal Ward is an All-Australian wingman?
No.
Dunno
I
about
don't
that.
think so. That's a bit of a reach, but
Sure.
I'm happy
There's a
for you,
world.
Clan.
Yeah, I'm
Christian,
happy for Walk Cal Ward, by the way.
Christian Moritz needs Sex Ellis's opinion on the best-looking player going around at the moment.
Okay.
Get some time to think about
Was
that.
it still
usually.
Bailey?
Nah,
Finn
look, I'm
Callahan?
a Finn man. I've been a Finn man last year.
You like
Yeah.
a tall, dark, and handsome.
Pretty
don't you?
high on that.
You do like the kind of clean-cut look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a clean cut.
That's your style.
Rosy cheeks after a bit of exercise too. That gets me fit.
That's Finn too. He does get
Yeah,
a
you
little
get
bit
the
of
little
the
rose.
Yeah.
So look, if I was to go home with any, it'd probably be Finn.
Okay.
All this colonoscopy chat's got me revved up.
Last couple to go. Enormo Head, just wanting to thank Ryan for letting us know Hamling used to be a docker. I think
How many
maybe.
times did you say
Oh,
it?
look, I think maybe every time Hamling touched the footy yesterday.
Oh, did ya?
I just look. Sometimes you
docker.
lose track of what you're saying.
He didn't get beaten too often either, by the way.
No, he was
he can
fine.
play.
I mean, he only probably touched it 6 times.
Yeah.
But thank you for the feedback, Enormo Head.
Have you copped some feedback?
Nothing too negative.
Nothing. That's good.
Someone said that we were extremely biased, but I don't.
Isn't that-
I'm not sure about that.
To Freo.
Yeah.
They probably should have jumped over to our call.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys would have been killing 'em.
we're rooting for Coxie.
Yeah, right.
Embers and I. Yeah.
I'm sure the local audience would have appreciated that.
No, we weren't local. That's their problem.
All right, let's go. Conspiracy Corner. I haven't read this, so I have no direction what it's going to go into. Matty Dowd. G'day, lads. Thought I should pass on. I have a friend of a friend whose name is Matthew that works deep inside Victoria, and he has a direct insight to St Kilda. He has heard that the additional year added onto the contract for Ross the Boss was done to allow Ross to do a pre-Tassie Tank this season to get in some decent picks and help try to sell the destination club story they are trying to create. Inside the club, it's known as the Tassie Tank, with a focus on bringing in the picks, and Ross has been given the year to do as he pleases with no pressure on a win-loss record before next year diving back into trying to win and lure some existing players. Cracking show. Cheers, Matty Down.
The Tassie Tank. I reckon there's
Oh,
eight
Tassie
teams.
Tank.
8 teams considering the Tassie
There's a few
Tank
going into the Tassie
St
Tank.
Kilda stuffed it up on the weekend, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but-
won.
but
That's
yeah.
Ross, isn't it? Every now and then he's going to try to win. He can't help himself.
I like the
I
Tassie
do-
Tank.
I love the blind love, as I'm sure the Hawthorn players would have for Clarko and the West Coast.
Clearly,
players.
Coxie, Sydney for Coxie. They're all over him.
No, the former players.
Oh, yeah.
At St Kilda, like whenever, they
yeah.
just still love
Not
Ross.
all of
Like,
them.
Well, only the ones who have commentary gigs were all the
I
better
reckon
ones.
you'll find that at Fremantle and at St Kilda, there's half of them that adored him
No,
and
but
the other half that hated him.
I'm talking top 10. He was
Yeah,
very
the top 10 loved him.
And they're the ones who get the
Loved
media
him.
gigs.
They
you know?
loved him.
Yeah, Lee Fisher wasn't a fan.
There's a few.
What did Lee Fisher say?
Well, no, he was the umpire. Ross retired him just before he left, and then there was always a feeling that Lee Fisher wasn't as generous
right,
to
okay.
Ross Lyon coach teams when he was umpiring.
Right, gotcha.
All right, that's us done.
That's us done.
Done
All
like
right.
a dog.
This has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you again later in the week.